Anyway, Mr. Taylor said he's going to pray for William, and everyone else on the internet said that they're going to pray for him. Mr. Taylor's our youth worker. He said, "Don't worry, God's still on the throne." And Bob Scuba said the same thing. He said, "Don't worry, he won't let his little fish go." When Tony and Eugene wanted to watch a scary movie when they were over here, I could have put Scooby-Doo with the live-action version with the ghost, and I thought, no, I know what I'm going to do. They want a scary movie? I know what to put in. I put in A Thief in a Night. It's like Left Behind, Kirk Cameron and Nicolas Cage idea, and others like it. But it's the very first one, Left Behind, and when they got done watching it, both said in unison, my oldest niece Tony and my oldest nephew Raymond Eugene Smith III said, "How do you know if you're saved or not? How do you know if you're saved or not?" Right then, that's when I should have led them to Jesus. But I'm thinking, no. When the parents came, I explained that they're not sure if they're saved or not. They need to get saved. You need to deal with that. And I hopefully that Stacy and Ray and then John and Cheryl dealt with that. If they didn't, well, I know one thing. My niece Tony must have got saved somehow, or she wised up and got saved on her own with Jesus' help. Because when I showed her the end time information on Facebook Instant Messenger, she said, "That's the mark of the beast." So at least she understands. I hope Eugene understands, and all of his children. Alex Smith and Raymond Eugene Smith the fourth. I know that their dad, Raymond Smith, got saved. He got saved when Bob's Cooker and me borrowed the very one audio cassette of um, Bob Jones the Third, or something like that. Rebellion of Big Red. Oh, Pete Rice. That's right, Pete Rice. I don't know if it's the first or second or third. Pete Rice. Rebellion of Big Red. Pete Rice. And the very same one that Russie Dillard's cracking up and everything. It's a true story about a horse that went crazy, and there's a planetization message in it. He did that horse message at the Wilds.org Christian camp, and I think he did it at the Blue Rice Ranch Christian camp. Anyway, I saw him before service, and I said, "Are you going to do Rebellion of Big Red?" He didn't say anything, and the next you know, he's doing the story of Rebellion of Big Red. God had a hand in all that, and he did it, and then Bob was able to get a copy of it, and that very same cassette. See, God's in control of everything. I happened to have that cassette with me, and then Raymond had his boombox and take the speakers and separate them, and on a cement round table, I think it's round or square, I can't remember, and it's got an umbrella to hold. So anyway, he was sitting there listening to the whole thing, and then he knelt and asked Jesus in his heart. He got saved that day. Then later on, Mac Palmer was able to baptize Raymond, Pat Bogle, and I forgot the other person. But anyway, all the other people, Shannon Dowdy, all that. Shannon Dowdy got saved when he saw Rob Chappell. He said, "Well, if Rob Chappell gets saved, he can get saved," because Mark Tedder came knocking on the door with the teens on teens soul winning time. The adults do soul winning too, but and then he knocked on the Dowdy's house, Mrs. Dowdy and Buddy Dowdy, and I can't remember their mom's name. Anyway, Sean Dowdy got saved by watching my life, and then when he got saved, and then later on they were praying to get the rest of them saved. Anyway, luckily Shenandoah got saved. Um, what I didn't know about Rob Chappell, he used to be in a gang with Brass Knuckles and all that. I didn't know all that about you, how Rob Chappell. Oh, there's a lot of things you don't know about me, Bill. But God turned me around for the good. Yeah, I see you're clean. You got a haircut. You don't got no brass knuckles, and you're normal. And you got a wife and children and all that. Anyway, that's why when Shannon Dowdy saw Rob Chappell along with the other teens, God had a hand in that. He said, if Rob Chappell can get saved, he can get saved. Because everyone else tried and he didn't want it. But when he saw Rob Chappell, he's like, well, if he can get saved, I can get saved. And you know what? God had in all that. Shenandoah joined the military, I don't know what branch, but somehow he was in the wrong place and wrong time. Bullets were flying, a bullet hit him. He's now got promoted to heaven. If he didn't get saved, that bullet would have killed him and he would have went to the fiery pit. But see, God worked it all out, the power of prayer. God provides for all the animals, like Bob Schofield says. He says, God provides for us, he provides for all the animals. When it rains, the earthworms come up, and then the birds have food to eat, to feed to their babies. Yeah, you're right about that. And the water they use to take a bath in, including the ducks and geese and everything. And Mark Taylor said he got saved when he was 26. Okay.